Hello, friends. Are you ready for a new story? Of course you are. Let's go. Once upon a time in the country of Shushan, in the province of Media, which is now Iran, there lived a Jewish man whose name was Mordecai. He brought up his cousin Esther the way God commanded. She was very beautiful, but her origin was kept secret. Because she was an orphan and did not know who her parents were, and so Mordecai raised her like his own daughter. He loved her very much and wanted the best for her. But he also feared that people would find out she was Jewish and do something bad to her. One day King Ahasuerus, the king of the province of Media and Persia, now Iran, decided to hold a beauty contest. All the girls in the kingdom were told to gather in the capital city of Shushan for the contest, and you can imagine how nervous they all were. After all, this was once in a lifetime opportunity to become the queen. So all the girls got ready with fine clothes and makeup and jewelry. When it was Esther's turn to get ready, she was scared. She really liked the king and wanted to be his wife, but she was afraid of what might happen when the king learned that she was Jewish. So she hid her faith from everyone, including the king. But her cousin, Mordecai, encouraged her to participate, because if she won, she could use her position to help her people, the Jews. The contest was fierce. Many girls participated, and they were all beautiful. But you know what? Esther stood out among them all. She was so stunning and charming that the king couldn't take his eyes off her. He chose her to be his wife, and she became the queen of the kingdom. Mordecai was happy because his cousin became the queen, but he was also sad because she had to hide her faith. After some time, two of the king's servants, Bigthana and Teresh, came up with a wicked plan to kill him. They told the king that they heard the Jews were planning to rebel against the empire and overthrow the king, but that wasn't true. It was just a lie that these evil servants made up to get rid of the king. Ahasuerus was very angry when he heard this. He was ready to punish all the Jews in his kingdom. Then he remembered Queen Esther, who was also a Jewess, but she hid it from him. So he called her to his palace. When the queen entered the room, the king looked at her sadly and said, "You must tell me the truth. Are you one of those people or not?" The queen was shocked. She didn't know what to say. If she admitted that she was Jewish, the king might have killed her, and if she lied, she would have committed a sin in the eyes of God. Finally, she said, "If the king wants to know the truth, I am willing to risk my life for my people." Then she sent a message to Mordecai, telling him about the danger she was in. She told him to go to the king and beg for mercy for the Jews. When Mordecai learned what was going on, he immediately started to fast. For 3 days he ate nothing and drank no water. Then he went to the queen and told her, "You should go to the king and ask for mercy for the Jews." The queen agreed. She knew that if she didn't do something, her people would be wiped out from the face of the earth. So she went to the king and asked him to forgive the Jews. But King Artaxerxes was stubborn. He didn't want to forgive the Jews. And then the evil advisers said to the king, "Let's throw the queen and that man named Mordecai into the furnace." But before the king could say yes or no, the two servants who tried to kill him came in and shouted, "Long live the king!" Then they told the king that those two men deserved death because they were trying to overthrow the king, and everyone agreed with them. So the two servants were put to death. Then the king was very happy. He invited the queen and Mordecai to a big feast. And while they were celebrating, he asked the queen, "What do you want?" "I will give you anything," she replied. "I would like to throw a party for all the Jews in the kingdom and for my cousin Mordecai." The king said, "It shall be done." And he wrote a letter allowing the Jews to defend themselves against anyone who wanted to hurt them. And you know what? From that day on, the Jews were free and no one could harm them anymore. Mordecai and Esther kept their faith in God even when they had to hide it from the king. They showed courage and bravery and never gave up hope. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the story. Now, let's learn some valuable lessons from it. Lesson 1. Never hide your identity. When we try to hide our identity, we are not being true to ourselves. We must be proud of who we are. But Esther had no choice. Her life depended on it. She had to hide her identity to survive in a foreign kingdom full of danger. However, when the time came, she bravely revealed her true self and stood up for her people. Remember, sometimes we have to keep quiet and hide our identity to protect ourselves or others. But we must be brave enough to speak up when the time is right. Lesson 2. Courage is not the absence of fear, but doing what is right despite being afraid. Esther was very afraid when she had to go to the king without being called. She could have been put to death for this, but she did it anyway because she knew it was the right thing to do. She showed great courage when she revealed her identity to the king and asked him to forgive the Jews. This was a risky move because the king was very angry and could have easily had her killed. But she was willing to sacrifice her own life to save her people. Lesson 3. Be aware of the company you keep. The two servants, Haman and Lazus, were evil and jealous of Mordecai. Their evil plot to kill the king and the Jews shows that we must be careful about the company we keep. Bad friends can lead us to do bad things. We must choose our friends wisely and stay away from those who want to harm others. Lesson 4. Don't judge a book by its cover. When the king first saw Esther, he thought she was a common girl, but in reality, she was a Jewess who had to hide her identity. She didn't look like a queen, but she turned out to be a brave and smart leader. So don't judge people by their looks. You never know what's inside. Lesson 5. God takes care of those who believe in him. Even though Esther and Mordecai had to hide their faith in God, they never lost hope, and in the end, God helped them. He gave them courage and strength to overcome their problems. We must always remember that God is with us and will help us when we need it the most. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. If you want more stories, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Bye.